Every summer, I'll end up giving myself about 1 to 2 weeks of what I'll basically just call like video game time. Normally, I'm not very inspired by most video games, and I don't tend to play a lot of them. However, every summer, what I'll do is I'll give myself about 2 weeks to play one. And typically, what I'll play is some sort of role playing game. Usually, it's a Bethesda game. So, Fallout being my favorite game of all time. Skyrim, something like that. And right now, I'm going through that phase at the moment. I think it was a combination of having my computer kind of get damaged last week, and not being able to kind of stream any kind of chess, at least this week, which pretty much kind of motivated it, on top of just dealing with some extra, I guess, outside stressors right now. And so I decided to give myself this week, and last week to play. And so what I'll do, like I said, is just play for a couple weeks. It's a fun little thing. It's kind of a weird distraction, and it's something where my mind just instinctively wants to play it. Most times of the year, even like in the really bad days of winter, when like you're stuck inside and can't do anything, I'm never really in the mood to play a video game. But for some reason, once summer rolls around, all of a sudden I want to play one. I don't get it. But anyways, the point I'm making is that one of the things that I take away from playing these games, and it's a really, really, really good reminder, is the idea of the skill tree, which in role-playing games, basically what that is just a thing where as your character progresses, you can basically improve a certain attribute in your character. Now, the idea or the thing you're supposed to kind of pick up from this is that you can level your character any way you want, but if you want the most powerful character, you can only really pick 2 or 3 skills to ever level up. Because you only get so many skill points, if you try to create a balanced character, or a character that is, a bit mediocre in every area, or seems to have like no major weaknesses, your character is just going to be overall weak. To try and master everything, or to try and be good in everything, means you are going to fail in everything in these video games. And a lot of the perks and a lot of the fun in these games comes when you can kind of level your character up in a certain skill tree, or in a certain area, to the highest point. That's where all the fun, cool bonuses that makes the game really engaging comes in. And man, every year this idea comes back to me, and I'm always like kind of fascinated by it. And always reinforces it, which is that's basically a good metaphor for real life. You can try your best to master many different areas of life, but you simply won't be able to. You can only ever really master a small handful, 2 or 3 at the most, and that's the most generous, I think, to become like a real master in something. There aren't any UFC fighters that are also brain surgeons, right? You can't master the combat arts and also master being, the medicine. It's just not enough time. It's to do one requires you to give up all the time that you'd be giving up to master the other thing, to get better at the first thing. Yes, you can still, to use the example, right? You could still go to school, become a surgeon, and then as a hobbyist, in your free time, go to your local gym and study jiu-jitsu and become a black belt or something like that. But you're never going to be in, like, say, the UFC, for example. And it's true of any endeavor. You've got to find the one thing that you really want to master, that you really want to get better at, and you got to put all your skill points into that. And your skill points basically come from time. time spent doing the activity, time spent learning the mastery of the skill. That's all you can do. Yeah, and it's a kind of a reflective thing that I'm sort of sitting here now, continue to work on the story, and the past couple years now, I'd say even before that, even through my writing slump, it seemed very clear that the writing path was going to be the thing I needed to master, that I need to put all my skill points into and start really becoming excellent in. I'm not sure what I'll ever end up becoming. In the field, I don't know what that awaits me. I don't know if anything at all awaits me really. But all you can do is put your time and your skill points into a certain area. And man, for me, that's writing. And I think for a lot of people, you need to really examine those things that you enjoy and pare it down into the thing that you really want to get good at and start moving in that direction. If you want to. And maybe tomorrow I'll make a video about the idea of balance or something like that. Because not everyone should ever try to become an expert in something. I do think that's not the ideal thing for everyone, and in fact, I think for a lot of people, to go all out after something can be a bit detrimental. There's a lot of cost associated with it, and again, I think I'll talk about this more tomorrow. But yeah, that's what I'm doing here every day. That's why I'm showing up the keyboard. I'm just trying to level up my character right now. Trying to get this avatar to the next level. Trying to sink some more skill points into my writing. So hopefully one day, this game gets a bit more exciting. Maybe one day the perks of life start to show themselves maybe a bit more. We'll see.